Hey guys, it's Dave back with another video for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions. Today I'm going to go into detail, actually give you the full 401 on how to get your weapons up to +5 and to not make the same mistakes that I did, wasting a lot of crafting materials. So as you can see, I have my first +5 right here. Since I got Verma and the Golden Axe event was up, I farmed it a lot. So much, in fact, that I have 136 recipes left over after getting a +5. Because you don't get enough books in the crafting material missions. All right, so when you come in and once you hit +5 or the maximum plus that you're going for, that's when these star ranks, the dwarven hammers, and the seals start coming into play. You might say, well, what are all those things? So I'm going to go and I'm going to start with the basics, okay? All right, so for beginners, I recommended getting the N level weapons, the normal weapons and armor, which are also, very powerful. You can see here you get all these stats. The N's are the only ones that you can max out just by leveling it up, with the exception of Excalibur. Okay, so for beginners, you definitely want to get those. All right. Other than that, you want a couple bravery rings like these right here. It's going to give your melee units 3% more attack damage because it's going to raise the bravery from 97 to 100. So you're definitely going to want that early on in the game. But once you start to get better armor and weapons and trust masters, you're probably going to ditch the hero's ring for like the Alexandrite ring on JP now, or like a dodge version of the sage hat, like right here. Oops, not that one, this one. So this has 19 evasion on it. So if you level this up to like 5-star level 50 and then get the other thing, I think it's 5 evasion. So you're going to get 24 evasion on that. It's going to be really good. But before we go into like stats and stuff like that, let's just take a quick look at how to make a +5. So we're going to come into the crafting right here. And I'm going to use the Ragnarok because that's in the event right now and I don't have a +5 yet. So as you can see, these are the base stats. I don't even know why these exist. This is really stupid. Because as soon as you craft it, it's going to turn into one of 3 other things. So this window right here should just have maybe like a drop down menu or a button you can hit and show you the 3 possibilities, because this is complete garbage. You get more than that just by crafting it, so it's completely irrelevant. And then these are the things that you need to actually craft it. So in order to make a +5, you need 63 versions of the recipe right here. And then you're obviously going to need that many materials plus materials to star them up. So let's make a couple just for an example. Okay, so this is going to make just a regular one. Okay, so we just made one. We'll make another one. So now I have 2 regular ones. Okay, and now we see that this +1 just appeared over here. Okay, if you take a look at that, a +1 requires 2 regular level 1s plus 0s. Okay, so now we're able to craft this +1 right there. So if we back up here, you can see I already have a +3, and I have now 3 +1s, right? But in order to craft a +2, we need a level 1 plus another level 1 that are level 10 out of 10, but 1 star. So let's go ahead and max those out. I would recommend using your silver ore for 1 to 10. Enhance. These are the seals we talked about, but you don't want to use those until you're at the max plus level that you're aiming for, because those resources are very sparse. Okay, so we're at level 10 that we need to be. We're going to back out. We're going to open our other one. We're going to max that out. Again, skip that for now. Okay, so now we have 2 plus 1 Nagnaroks at level 10. Okay, if we go back to crafting, voila, we get plus 2 available now. Alright, so we'll craft that up. Alright, but now we want to make a plus 3, right? Well, we only have a plus 2. So when you combine 2 plus 2s to get a plus 3, the plus 2s have to be level 20. So we're going to do the same thing right here. Okay, we're going to get it up to level 10. And then as you can see, we got a quotation mark over awaken. So let's go ahead and awaken it. This is what we need. So we have plenty of crafting materials. Okay. By the way, Nagnarok is very cheap on books. It's only 275, I think, to do all full plus 5. But the golden axe that I did was, I think, 1140. So very cheap. Even a casual player can probably make 2 of them if they farm the crap out of the event. So let's awaken this. All right, great, plus 2. Again, I have a boatload of those, so I'm just going to use the silver again. Right, and then I got that all the way up. Great, right? So now we have a plus 2 and plus 3, but I can't do anything with that plus 2 yet, right? So we're going to need another plus 1. Well, we have to make another plus 0, another plus 0. Then we have to make a plus 1. Then we're going to back up here, and we're going to level both of these to, oops, again, level 10. All right, and then we can back up here, and we're going to be able to make that level 2. All right, then let's go back to our screen. We're going to have to take this up again, like I said. So let's take that up to level 20. Basically, an easy way to remember it is for every plus rank, right, you can just add a 0 to that number, and that's the level it needs to be to combine for the next one up. So like plus 1 needs to be level 10, plus 2, 20. Pretty easy way to remember it, okay? So we'll max this sucker out. Great, we got it up to plus 2. Then we're going to go back to crafting, and we only have 1 recipe left, but we can now make another plus 3. All right, so now we have a level 30 plus 3 and a level 1 plus 3. Let's first get this up to level 30. Okay, awaken it. Now notice this time it uses 10 books, okay, and 2. That's going to go up as we go up in star rank. So we're going to max that out again. Level 20. Now it goes up to 15 and 5. And I think rank 4 and 5 use a different rare material. We should be able to see that once we get it up to 4. So let's awaken that now. And for this, it's going to use up 381. Normally I would go up to gold, but we have plenty of those, and we don't really need them, so we're going to use those. All right, so now we're out of recipes. I'm not going to farm the event in this for more. I'm just going to go and I'm going to buy 1 off the event shop right here to speed things up. Okay, so come back crafting, and voila, we can create a plus 4. Okay, I'm going to create that plus 4 right here. Back up, and it disappeared. Well, no, it didn't. The level just dropped, so it's going to move back. So you're going to increase this the same way you would the other ones. Okay. Now, again, like one thing that I didn't explain is, well, I kind of partially explained it. When you create not level up your star rank, but when you combine to create a new plus, a higher plus level, you're going to get 1 of 3 random weapons. So remember I said that the base stats were kind of like bogus. They have absolutely no relevance. The reason is because you're going to get one of three. So this one's magic. Notice our attack's only 81, but our magic is 112. So for some units, like for Orlando, that's going to be like Garbo. You're going to want to, not want that, a level 5 for that. But for Ramza, or maybe like a Spellblade unit, that's going to be best in slot right here in the game. So before you get your 2+4s and you turn them into a +5, you might just want to keep your +4 at level 40 until we get a patch that JP has. Now what that patch does, you saw when we combined 2+3s into the +4, on global right now, it randomly becomes magic or assault or vital. However, on JP, you're able to choose which one you want. So let's first awaken this up so you can see the increased cost. And then I'll show you what happened there. So basically, when here's the increased cost. So we went from 15 and 5 to 20 and 10. All right. And then we can see we go up to 30 and then 15. So Ragnarok doesn't need any extra crafting materials, and it doesn't go up that much. So it's actually it's really cheap. It's good for beginners here. So we're gonna get this one basically +5 ready. All right, but I'm gonna keep it like this probably until the patch. If I get a magic one, that's great. I can use it for Ramza. If I get assault, that's good for like Orlando or another unit like that. But if you get vital, you're kind of screwed. One thing that you can do, like let's say, I don't want to use it for that +5, but if we go to dismantle here, as long as it's not equipped, and again, the equip thing is annoying because you have to go through every screen in the formation and including the favorites in the character and unequip it in order to be able to touch it. But let's say we say dismantle here. Well, what are we going to get if we dismantle this? Okay, so we're going to get all the books and the sap that we used and the sorrowful hearts that we used to take that weapon from 1-star level 1 to 4-star level 40 at +4. We're also going to get 2+3 Ragnaroks. However, these +3 Ragnaroks, they're going to be reset to level 1. So you lose all of these crafting materials and the ore and everything else you put into getting these two up to level 30. So unless you messed up really bad, I would never recommend this dismantle. Maybe in the future on JP it keeps the level on these +3s, but when you lose the level on this, you lose all the materials that went into that. It's very detrimental. Okay, so we're going to back out of that. There's one other feature. Let's say, oh darn, I'm only 193 out of 212. So, I got my axe all the way up, but I didn't get the stats I want. Well, you can use these Dwarven Hammers, and that's going to reset your axe to level 1. You're going to keep the +5, but it's going to reset it to level 1. Well, what is that going to get me? Well, let's take a look at that Ragnarok that we just made. Wait, I thought we had a +4. Oh, crap, I hit the dismantle. Well, that was a waste. But I guess I made the mistake than you. All right, so, we take a look at this. And when we increase the level, you only have to increase it by 1. So, all right, so we're going up by 1 level. Then we can use seals here, okay? This one is assault. So this is the one that you would want for Orlando. And notice even when you dismantle it, it becomes random, okay? So if we go and enhance that, we would want attack, hit points. You want to get that maxed out as soon as possible because that's going to take away from possible attack points being added. What a lot of people on JP were doing was they were adding the Dwarven Hammers for hit points to max out the hit points, then use the seals when leveling up. When you do it like that, that's going to prevent your level up points from going into hit points, and they're all going to go into attack or accuracy, something more important. Okay, then you would hit begin enhancement, and this is just going to give you a better chance. Okay, it's not guaranteed. It's going to give you a better chance at getting stat up points. Now on JP, they have like a stat enhancement pass. So I think for X amount of time, you get like double, triple, whatever chance of the points going up. And a lot of the YouTubers were saying that they could pretty much max out all of these stats here just by doing that. So yeah, I would recommend that. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much everything other than the Dwarven Hammers. Okay, the Dwarven Hammers, you can only use 10 of those. So as you can see, I've already used 5. I think I used them on Spirit. I think I was really low on that. Having a minus, it started out with -6, now it's -2, which is kind of bad against magic attacks. But the rest I'm going to use on attack. So I have to wait till I get 5 more, up this to 15 points, and then I'll have 208 out of 212. Maybe in the future I'll want to re-roll that for perfect, but you know, for right now this is extremely strong. And like I said previously, this 15 slash attack down here, that's the equivalent of, I think, about 15% more attack. So there's 2 different attack types. You have the elemental attacks, and then you have the weapon attacks, weapon slash magic. So this is like the equivalent of, you know, dropping their resistance by 15%, as far as I know. And one more thing with the seals, for every level that you go up, for example, let's get it up to 1 again. See, we're going from 1 to 2, go enhance. Now I click this. You see I have 46 there, and it says 1 times. Okay, 1 time rather. So it's only going to use 1 of those. So you can only use 1 per level. So to have the best chance at getting your weapon at maximum attack, you're going to want to use 49 seals. You know, from 1 to 10, 9, and then from 10 for each of the batches after that. Now some people on JP were skeptical. If you do 10 levels at a time, they were showing maybe slightly better gains results for like attack and magic going up. I don't know if that's 100% true or not. Like it's all random, and they could have just been unlucky when doing it singly. I know other people who did it like 1 level at a time, but it seems like maybe batching them in levels of 10 is slightly better. Okay. Again, just for example, if we go in here and click it now, it's going to go up 9 times. All right. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for crafting. The next thing you need to do is just to research, you know, which things are going to be best for your units. For example, this gun right here, the Rasselgathi, it does the most damage in the game. You know, critical is good for it because you get 13 crit. But also assault is good because I think you get 208 or something like that. It's pretty high. I don't know if I've gotten any. No. But the bad thing about this is -3 agility. Okay, so especially for arena guild battle right now, Frederica is kind of one of those units that you want to hit first. Later on, it's not going to matter as much because you know, you're going to have more evasion on those units. But for right now, not going first, you know, since the Frederica's kind of squishy and doesn't have all that evasion that she will later on, there's a good chance you're going to get one shot. If not one shot, taken down to low hit points, and you know, you absolutely don't want that. You want first strike on your gunner if possible. So just keep an eye on these stats. Another thing to keep in mind when you're crafting and putting on things, kind of going a little bit off topic, but if we come in here, right now my Frederica has 70 agility, right? You're only going to get agility from your highest level thing, okay? So right now this trust has 3. I don't think I have one that has more than 3 agility. But out of all 3 items right here, it's only going to take the highest stat from one of them. So if we were to do the calculation, this gives 11 hit points, this gives 260. Let's look, we have 2073, we'll just remove this, right? And you can see our 2073 hit points doesn't move, right? So that's only 15. So we're getting the bonus from the boxer's badge. We're getting the agility from the boxer's badge. So they're not contributing anything at all. And then you can see the Ras Al Ghathi right here. It's got the -3 agility. Well, guess what? We just went up from 70 to 73 by taking that off. So your plus is going to be unique, right? You can only have the best plus off of all your gear. But the minus, oops, we want to use the higher level one. The minus is still going to take effect, unfortunately. Now, I haven't had 2 minuses of the same type to test to see if the minuses stack, but I'm not sure about that. But, I mean, that's pretty much crafting in a nutshell. I think I've covered just about everything. I'll just give 2 more pointers. Once you start getting your Trust Masters, you can come in here, and this is where you level them up. I used them today to level this up. It's level 12 out of 20, but your armor pots will appear here and you could level that up. The only other thing that I have to caution you about, maybe you want to hold off. I got lucky on this and I got Assault, but if I got Vital, I would have been very upset. If I got Crit, Crit's okay, but Vital, I would want to like pull my hair out if I had got that. So that will be fixed in the patch for those craftable items. However, other craftable items, for example, the Gladiator Staff, right here, as far as I know, where is it? Arena. This one right here, the Sage's Staff. This is a plus item, so you can take this up, but theoretically, you would have to have it be on your 3rd copy to make it a +1, right? Because you need 2 +0s. And at that point, you'd be able to choose. So obviously you want magic on this one, because it's like 228 versus 168 or something like that. But when you create it the initial time, even on JP, I do not believe you have the ability to choose that. So please just be aware of that, and don't waste it. You might want to hold it for a while, or you might just want to take the chance. Because, for example, this Sage's Staff, even if you get Vital, which is unfortunate, it has just as good a stats as the Platinum Staff at max. The only difference is the Platinum is going to give you that +15 magic attack, like basically 15% more damage that this wouldn't have. But if this had the magic on it and was up at 228, you're probably going to do just as much, if not a little bit more, with this than a +5 Platinum. And then when you get this up to +5, after about 30 years, I figured it would take about 11 years for a casual player at the rate of 15,000 for one recipe. But that's going to be a very strong staff. So that concludes my equipment tutorial. I hope we've gained everything you needed. If you have anything else you'd like to know, you can leave it in the comment section. And you might just want to do research on your character, like which piece of gear is going to be best for my character. So, the video's, kind of long, but the crafting system is pretty convoluted. And, there's stuff that they don't teach you. And, I mean, you saw me make the stupid mistake. I accidentally just dismantled my 2 Ragnaroks down here. So, so you don't make all the same stupid mistakes. I hope this video was helpful. Take care.